CBS News political director and Face the Nation moderator John Dickerson is here. Good morning.
Morning, Charlie.
You were in the hall.
Yeah.
Did Donald Trump enhance his ability to find a path to the presidency?
Well, it's the big question. We all were there. We saw the thunderous response to him. And now the question is, how big is the audience outside? We know there are some diehard Trump people who will love what he said, but this was a speech with no uplift, no hope in it. And the question is, usually you use that hope to bridge to another constituency, to draw people in, to reach into another constituency. And we just don't know if that's possible with such a dark speech.
After going through all the problems with America, Trump said, "I alone can fix it." Is that how our government works, that the president alone can fix problems?
No, our government was founded to be very wary of anybody making those kinds of claims. It was the entire argument behind the founding, which is you cannot claim to have all the power in one person. What's also interesting, though, this was a unity convention, supposed to be anyway, connecting Donald Trump to the Republican Party. He didn't mention the Republican Congress once. He didn't say, I will join with the Republican anything. It was all about,
with the Democrats
I am going to fix this. And that way, it's all about Donald Trump.
I know, and all about populism.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's the great question here, is whether his sense of disappointment and that the betrayal that he talked about, that the government has betrayed him and us, he was speaking for an us, how big is that us that feels betrayed and left behind by their government?
One of the delegates sitting next to me said, well, he might need a little help fixing some of the problems. We just need to know what that's going to be. But yesterday he brought up the LGBTQ community. Q, by the way, stands for questioning. I learned that myself last night for the first time. People around me are going, what does the Q stand for? What does it mean? What does it mean? Were you surprised that he brought that up? Especially after Peter Thiel spoke, an openly gay billionaire. That got big applause in the room.
It was an edit to the speech, right?
It was when he spoke to the room and said, it's great to hear you applaud for that. It's extraordinary the distance the Republican Party has traveled here. The platform is different than what we saw in the hall, but what we didn't see in the hall was anybody talk about unelected judges redefining marriage, which is usually a normal applause line at a Republican event. In 2004, George Bush, during his election, ran on having an amendment to the Constitution to block gay marriage. Now you have people applauding on a variety of different fronts.
Ivanka Trump, a speech where she talked about not really being a Democrat or a Republican, and no mention of Hillary Clinton.
No mention of Hillary Clinton, who had been mentioned, it felt like, in every other speech. She mentioned a lot of things Hillary Clinton supports, though: paid family leave, equal pay, guaranteed affordable health care for, child care. She opened the windows. It was promise and hope and kind of what you usually think of as optimistic themes right before Donald Trump came in and pulled the shades down.
John, thank you so much. We'll be watching Sunday when John Dickerson interviews President Obama on Face the Nation.
That's a big interview. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. You've had a very busy week, John Dickerson.
Yeah, well, just as busy as yours, Gail.
Yours is continuing. That's right.